Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to our series entitled Choose to Live. And this week, in the week 3 of the series, we are talking about how to choose to live in relationship. And if you have been struggling either to be faithful to these podcasts, then I bet you're probably one of the people who struggles to be in relationship with your friends. And hey, if you've been trying to make time for the podcast, praise God. And I want to offer you some hope today about how we can choose to live in relationship with our friends. Because time is one of those things that's going to threaten us. I want to talk about 3 things today. Number 1, you have more time than you think. Number 2, we don't need as much time as we think. And number 3, we just got to be intentional to carve it out. So if we're going to choose to live in relationship with friends, number 1, you have the time. I know that a lot of us feel like life is moving too fast, and I know a lot of us think we don't have time, but actually we do. I know that there are seasons in life where life is unseasonably busy. When you have a baby or you go through a crisis, God forbid if you bury somebody or you get sick, I understand that there are unseasonable seasons in our life where we are busier. But in the ordinary rhythm of life, when it's the first full week of January, I promise you, we have more time than we think. We may not be using it well, or we may not find it easy with our habits to be present to it, but we have more time than we think. Sometimes we're just not making the right choices with it, or sometimes we feel trapped with patterns of behavior because everybody does it. But if we look at our lives with an honest, sober reality, we're going to have more time than we think. Number 2, you don't need as much time as you think. In order to connect with the friends that are in our life, or to maintain relationships, a lot of times, at least for me, I think I've got to have this long, significant conversation, when actually a lot of what is going to nurture my heart is sometimes just a quick check-in or a shorter amount of time than when I think. I don't need an hour and a half in order to just have somebody to check in with me about what's going on, or just to reach out to the people outside my family who I love, and I need to just maintain relationship and to hear their voice. Like a lot of times we think we need a big block of time to nurture those relationships, when sometimes it just takes 2 minutes or 5 minutes, and I guarantee we have blocks of 2 minutes and 5 minutes in our day. However, we just need to be consistent and intentional about making time, right? If we don't grab a hold of our schedule is going to grab a hold of us. If we don't take control of our time is going to control us. And I've never met people who have a sustained long-term relationship with their friends when they didn't carve out time in order for that to happen. Today is Tuesday, January the 8th, and I just got back from vacation with some friends last week with Father Mike and Father Rick and Father Tim, and it was an awesome vacation. And there have been moments in my life where I've walked away from those vacations transformed, like this year's. It was a great vacation. And I think the reason that it was so beautiful is because I had time with them. But I had to carve it out. I had to be intentional. I had to block it out on my schedule so that I could do it. And I think one of the reasons why we don't always experience the type of depth or freedom in our relationships with our friends is because we aren't making the time for it. You have more time than you think. You don't need as much time as you think you do, but we have to be intentional about making that happen. So here's one thing that you can do today. I want you to think about one friend that it's been too long since you've connected with. One friend that you don't have enough time to spend with. I want you to think about that one friend, and I want you to reach out to them today. Before the sun sets, before you do anything else, unless you are going to save the world today, promise you got the time. Reach out to that one person and just say, hey, how you doing? And let's make some time to reconnect with each other. Come on back tomorrow when we're going to talk about what is the sustenance of those relationships, right? What does Christian friendship or even authentic Christian community look like? If we're going to choose to live in a relationship, let's make sure that we are disposing ourselves to the right types of relationships. Reach out to that one friend. Come on back tomorrow as we talk about Christian community. And until we have that conversation tomorrow, God bless you.